Morning, guys. Just give us a wave if you're here. Just give us a little like in the corner. That way I know that you're here. Or just wait a little while if some people are coming on. I'd just like to say thank you, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Just getting my cup of tea ready. And first of all, thank you so much for being here. It's so awesome to see so many people jumping on. It's been a bit of a just starting week because I didn't publicize it. No, didn't publicate it before too early beforehand, just to see how things are going and get things moving. So there's a couple of people still signing on. I know a couple of people signed on yesterday. So welcome to you guys. Yeah. So what did we start off? So first of all, I got some great questions, which is awesome, and some other great comments on the program, which is so cool. It's all a bit just choppy changey at the moment, which is cool, which is an awesome way to just get to ease into it. So we're having fun doing that. So I just wanted to tell you quickly about what I based the program on, and it was on basically it's on the 5 areas of well-being, as stated by Deepak Chopra. So as I went through this in my own life, I didn't find those 5 areas of well-being. I actually went through it stage by stage in different ways. The first way for me was nutrition. I went to a naturopath, and she got me eating well and just eliminating some things out of my diet which I didn't need, which were cool. Hey, Loz, I can see you here. Nice to have you here. I was just talking about the 5 areas of well-being, as stated by Deepak Chopra, and that's sort of how once I found those, I was like, oh wow, that's exactly how I did it. So I started with nutrition, which is one of them. Then there's also to reduce your stress, which is hey, which is how we were going to begin this week. So just softening into finding ways to reduce stress levels. Another one is movement, which I also did. I started off just by walking every day, walking 15-20 minutes every day, and then eventually evolved into other things, found yoga. I still do my work outside every day though. I find it super, super important. And then meditation, just having a nice calm mind amidst turmoil. That's always an ongoing process, which is fun. And then emotional well-being, so learning to stabilize my emotions through meditation, but also through just being present in the moment, which meditation obviously helped with. And yeah, so basically they're the 5 areas that I wanted to talk about. Touching on a little, and so going through the program will touch on those 5 areas. There's no need to stress now and raise your stress levels, but that's why they're included in your questions. And so one of the major things a lot of people touched on, I think 4 or 5 people separately emailed me or messaged on the thing, was that they felt time poor, was that they were really, really busy in this moment. And that's something that obviously can happen in life. There are so many times when we take a lot on, or we've just got things going on with our family. So it's really good that you guys noticed that. That's awesome. It's also awesome that you don't overpile things on to your schedule to make it harder. So if you're easing into that and you want to start on the weekend, that's perfect. Something you can do, which someone asked, is what can I do in this time? And something that you can do is just connect to your breath. Honestly, that takes 3 seconds. So I will sit up in the morning if there's a day when I've got to jump out of bed and get going with the kids to school. I'll just sit up in the morning, sit up in bed, just from bed, and gently close my eyes and just connect back to my breath. So you can even do that now if you want to. It's super easy. Hey, So just by sorry, I've got people coming online. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, so just by sitting up in bed and gently connecting to your breath, you can have a really, really simple, so we can even do it now, which just makes it, just to show you how simple it is, which is just gently close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Breathe in through your nose and gently out. 2 more times like that, so in through your nose. Gently out. One more time in through your nose. And gently out. And then gently open your eyes and you're ready for your day, which is so cool. Ciao, Carole. So the super important thing to remember is, so for sure, not to add to the stress, but just to find things that do work for you. And if you can't do, both practices, the yoga and the meditation, do one. If you can't do 10 minutes on the mat, do 1 minute. Just having the opening to allow yourself to have those practices and have that time for yourself is so beneficial. And so, but making it work, which is awesome, which you guys are all doing, I can see just by putting like little bits in there, here and there, and which is so cool. So another question was lying down in meditation as opposed to sitting up. So basically, in meditation, from what I've learned, the aim is to remain relaxed and alert at the same time. So what happens when we're lying down is that we fall asleep, which is really nice, and that's what you need if you need that, which is cool. So maybe organize a little time to sleep. But for relaxation, which I'll post sometime this week, a relaxation. Lying down is the best. Lying down and getting really comfortable for relaxation, using as many cushions as you need, as many blankets as you need. And this will teach your body just to, settle in a relaxed state. Whereas for meditation, we like to remain a little bit more alert. So our bodies sit and relax, but we're still alert with our mind. And that helps. The upright position helps with that. So what I would advise is, if you do like lying down, then do a relaxation lying down for sure. And then when you feel like it feels like the right time, or maybe you'll just try 1 minute or 30 seconds sitting up, you'll just give yourself a go for 1 minute or 30 seconds. If you prefer to have your timeout and your timeout is relaxation, then go for that. Do a relaxation. But again, 3 seconds on your breath, like 3 breaths in the morning, that's the perfect way to start the day and a perfect way to ease into meditation. There's no right or wrong. There's just fitting it into your day, which is perfect. Okay, another one I had via email was, how do you connect with yourself not to get into a routine of TV and technology? Well, I think the answer is in this question. So basically, which is so cool. A routine of TV and technology is exactly just that. It's just a routine. And so by changing, by learning what are your priorities, what do you want to focus on, those will shift naturally. So as any routine, it can take a little while to get out of, get a little while to shift it, not so get out of it, but shift it. And then making things a priority. Like as soon as you notice, I'm sitting down watching TV and I don't want to be doing this, turn it off. and also programming phone free time, saying, okay, at 6 p.m. I turn my phone off. I know that in our own personal family environment, the girls are growing up and they're starting to come in with their own phone. And yeah, so we had to have a okay, once we sit down to have dinner, phones are off and they don't go back on for the evening. And that really changed everything. It was really amazing. um, so yeah, so just prioritizing there and being aware of it, which is the first step, which is awesome. What else? I had a beautiful message from Christine. Hi, Christine. So glad that you're here and so glad you're enjoying the course. It's really nice to know that it can be really simple and easy to get into a routine of good health and looking after yourself. So yeah, so it's good to know as you're going through this that you're just depositing. It's like you're depositing in a good health bank. That's how karma works. You sort of like deposit little bits of good health, so that when big life things do come along, you've got the energy and things to deal with them, but also so that when you're going about your day, you're going about it in a more positive, awesome way. Okay, night, Loz. All right, I'll answer your question during the video, and then you can jump back on. Bye, baby Darcy. Good night. So, Christina, back to your question. So she was having struggle with what to write at the end of the day. What have I learned? And you also answered your own question saying maybe I should just be more aware about it during the day, and that's exactly right. I think when we're aware of it, it can be bringing your awareness to it is the key. And also, it doesn't have to be something big. I think we always think, as often I do, I used to always think things had to be I had to learn something massive today. No, a lot of the time mine is, I learned that Mateo doesn't like peas, which I did know already, but something like that. I learned that if I take 3 breaths before I pick the kids up from school, the afternoon goes much better. I learned that. So little things like that, and you'll find, I'm sure with your yoga and your meditation, you're learning things about your body or your thoughts or things like that. Little things. I learned that meditation is working, or not working. I learned that it's difficult for me, or I learned, so anything, really anything that can come about your day. So, and it's so nice to just take the time to think about those things at the end of the day. Okay, we've just got one from Lars. Question on gratitude. I always seem to look to big ticket things. Okay, so work, career, family, friends, to be grateful for, and I feel I repeat myself a lot. Should I look for smaller things in my day to be thankful for, or just continue on? I would just continue on. Whatever you feel grateful for is amazing. It's amazing that you feel grateful for so many things, for your work, for your career, for your family and your friends. Like that's fantastic, and I would definitely work with that. Something we're going to move through is also what to do with that gratitude. So how to even embody that even more, and then taking action on that. So that will come in the following weeks. But for now, having all those things to be grateful for is amazing. It's fantastic. Again, if you feel like you could put more than one, do that. If you feel like you should be looking for smaller things, look for them. But just being grateful is such an amazing practice. Something about gratitude is, I don't know if you know the reason we practice it, apart from it giving us a positive mindset and things like that, it also invites grace. So basically we have, what we can control, which is our inner world, and what we can't control, which is the outer world. And things, as we move towards our dreams, what can be really helpful in these times is when we align with ourselves to then have grace align with us as well. And the practice of gratitude invites grace. So it's been explained to me from one of my teachers that grace and gratitude are 2 sides of the same coin. So once you invite gratitude, you also invite grace. So that's why we do it basically. But anything you can be grateful for is awesome, and to know that you're grateful for so many things is really awesome. And then there's the other side of the scale, is there's those days when you feel like, oh, I really can't feel grateful for anything today, and they're the days that you really need to search for something. It can be just sitting down to have the book open and with your pen in your hand. You can be grateful for the moment to be able to do this. So it could be because searching for the things in those days is what will anchor you to a certain practice and anchor you to your well-being, to creating your well-being. So yeah, I've got another one. Okay, so feeling time poor from Janine. It's no wonder you are amazing. You're always doing, I know, when I've been around you, you started a new job. You've got two beautiful boys going off to school this week. It's no wonder that you feel time poor. I can imagine. So just acknowledging that, and even then you're happy and positive during that time. Well, that's fantastic. Something that can help with feeling time poor, which I just wanted to add in for also someone else, Nadine, who emailed me, is to prioritize and plan. So when we did our numbers at the beginning of the day, the beginning of the week, so which I don't know if you've got around to doing that, but which was to rate the areas of your life and how you feel about them at the moment. I would take the area that felt the lowest at the moment to bring up a little bit. And so what happens? How do we do that? Okay, so we focus our time and energy on that, because we know like where our energy goes is where we get energy for. So if we're say we're time poor, like our sleep is the lowest, our sleep and our rest and our relaxation, considering that stress is the highest problem for sicknesses, and it's causing like a lot of unwellness that's unnecessary, that could be unnecessary. So what I would do is, if my sleep was the worst part, I would prioritize that. So, okay, I need set hours, but I also need to know, okay, I need to turn off my phones, and what helps me go to sleep. So just asking yourself those questions and prioritizing for it, and then planning it and putting it, actually write it down. So I will, bed at X, 10 p.m., 9 p.m., phones go off and I have a bath, or I drink a chamomile tea, or I read a book, because I know these things are what settle me into good sleep. And then it's also time and letting things evolve over time. So yeah, I think that's all the questions. I've taken up already a bit of your time. So thank you so much for joining and sharing the time with me, and also the program with me. Thank you so much for being here and going through it. It's so awesome to meet up with you guys. A few of you girls I meet at yoga, and it's so good to see you guys doing that and jumping on your mat and giving it a go. I'm also aiming to get out some yoga videos to you guys, so that would be really cool too. I'm having a little thing with technology at the moment. I'm learning technology. Yeah. So anyway, have a great day, and don't forget to reach out if you need any help, both by email or on the group, if you think it could be helpful for someone else. And yeah, have an awesome day, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. See ya.